I'm in Chatham, Kent, once one of the busiest naval dockyards in the country. The HMS Victory, Nelson's flagship at the Battle of Trafalgar, was launched from here in the 18th century.
So what was up for auction in historic Chatham, you may wonder? Well, it was this two-bedroom mid-terrace property in a largely residential area. My first impressions, well, small, a bit shabby and in need of a good paint job. But I know from experience never to judge a book by its cover.
And the guide price, 55 to 65,000. In the auction catalogue, the property is described as having 2 bedrooms, a kitchen and 3 reception rooms. How can that many rooms squeeze into such a small house? Let's find out.
Can't judge a book by looking at the cover. Come on.
Step inside and you're straight into the living room. Now, from the outside, it looks like your standard terrace, 2 up, 2 down. And move out of the living room and you come to this steep flight of stairs and a really long corridor. You've got a big old cupboard here, and then there's the bathroom and the toilet where you'd expect the kitchen to be. At the back of the property, straight away, I'm thinking layout issues here. But where is that kitchen? Do you think they'd have put it upstairs on the first floor?
The dark and dingy stairway leads to the bedrooms. Both desperately need sprucing up, but they are well proportioned. But still, I can't find a kitchen.
Now, I've walked around, I've looked at all the windows in this property, and a lot of them are rotting, they need replacing, and with the security conscious amongst us, these panes, look, literally slide straight out. Now, you may think double glazing is relatively expensive, but the long-term benefits can extend way beyond simply recouping your investment in cost savings. It helps to keep your house warm. The extra insulation provided by double glazing means you can turn the heating down, saving you money, and for the more environmentally conscious, reducing your CO2 emissions. Fantastic.
However, of course, the cost of double glazing an entire house could shatter a developer's budget. The property has a great garden space, which, with lots of work and a little money, could be a major selling point. I've explored the ground floor and the first floor. Now it's down to the basement and hopefully the kitchen.
Wow! Do you know what? This house is like a TARDIS. There's 3 rooms down here on the lower ground floor. You've got a sort of junk room in there where there's no window and lots of old rubbish piled up. A reception room, and there's the kitchen. I found it. It's bolted on to the back of the property. You've certainly got a lot of square footage here. You would never think this house is this big, hidden away on sort of 3 levels. Clearly, it needs a lot of work in here, completely redecorating. And there's something that does worry me now. I think somebody's already been investigating this, but look, the carpet's been moved, lots of old, dusty old wood everywhere, and if you lift up this floorboard, signs of severe rotting joists. That would worry me, and it could end up being a costly job.
The guide price for this house was 55 to 65,000. I asked a local estate agent for her opinion on it.
The property is in state of disrepair and it is going to need a fair amount. Again, it does have problems with damp and infestation, so they really do need to be checked out seriously.
What could the resale value be?
Once this property is renovated, then I think in this market we'd be looking at around about £105,000 to £110,000.
And rental returns?
Generally, we're looking at about £550 per month or £575 per calendar month.
So this is higgledy-piggledy house. It does have character, but it really needs the internal layout to be changed. The lower ground floor needs to have the kitchen opened up to get some more light in there. But I do think it's unusual, and there is a lot of square footage here for the money. Let's see what happened when it went under the hammer.
55.65 is cheap value for this. Where do you want to start me? £55,000 to start me? Be brave. 55, I'm obliged. 55 I've got. Now 58. 58 I want, and 60, and 60, and 2, 62, 62,005, 65, 65 I've got, and 8, it's against you. 68, 68, 68, and 70. It's 70 I've got, and 2, 72,000, 72, 72, and 5, and 5, 75. £72,000 I've got. I take one if it helps you. 73, 74. You won't get another chance for this one. 74,005, 75,000, and 76 now. 76, 76 I've got, and 7, and 7. So just one bidder though. Be brave. Come on, 78,000. 79. That was nicely done. 2. I think there's 79. Is it? 79. Yes. Yeah, 79 I've got. 80 now. At 80. £79,000 then sitting down on the left-hand side. 80 I want, and we were done at £79,000. Sell for the first time at 79. Second time at 79. Third and final time, I'm sure you're all done. It's yours at £79,000. And your card number, please.
Who sneaked in there with that final bid of £79,000. He plans to renovate this property with his son, trainee plasterer Mark.
Wow, Richard, what an exciting auction that was. Loads of bidders. You came in right at the end there.
I did.
With that cheeky little bid. Happy with what you paid for this?
I am. 79,000.
I mean, that's... Isn't it?
Yeah, my maximum was 80.
Oh, do you know what, though? You really did leave it right till the end.
I know.
Threw up your bid, and then somebody else came in, and then you got it on the next one, didn't you?
But the thing, I was thinking about another property I was going to go for, but yeah, I went for this one anyway. It was good. It was good.
So what was it about this property that you liked so much? Because for me, when you walk in through the front door, you cannot believe the size of the place.
That's right, it is.
To think there is a floor up there, a floor down there, you just don't expect that, do you?
It's kind of quirky, isn't it, with the bathroom at the back there. I thought that was kind of nice. I like a big bathroom. I think the trend nowadays is for large bathrooms anyway, and I'm not going to move it. It's going to stay exactly where it is.
Richard grew up in Kent and joined the Royal Navy in the early 70s. He eventually ended up working in IT before embarking on his career as a property developer. He wants to use the renovation of this house to help his son Mark get more experience and learn other trades.
So how many years of experience of renovating and decorating and pulling walls down have you had?
5 years.
5 years? That's not a huge amount of experience, really.
No, well, I was an IT consultant before I went into this game, but this is far more rewarding, believe me.
Who is going to do all the work? I mean, there is a fair bit of work here. Come on, there's a lot of work to do. It's in a pretty bad state.
Yeah, well, I shall get my son to come in and do some of the sort of, you know, stripping the wallpaper, doing the plastering and skirting boards and stuff like that. I do the laminate flooring and decorate. I mean, this is just basic stuff. I've got to put central heating in here for a start.
You do all this work?
I do everything.
Can you really take all this on? I mean,
I've done it for
quite a
years.
challenge.
I've done it for years. I've always had the policy of if somebody else can come in and do something, then why can't I? I can do it as well. I'm very practical. I'm extremely practical.
He's going to need to be practical here, with those rotting floors and possible issues with damp. Richard obviously thrives on challenge. He's not scared by the current condition, more excited by the property's potential.
So what sort of budget have you got to do the work here?
Well, I've done a preliminary. I reckon about £8,500 to do most of the work, because obviously I do it myself, so the costs cost a lot less.
So how long do you think this project is going to take you?
Well, I think between 3 to 4 months.
So are you going to be spending every waking hour in this house putting it right?
Yeah, if I have to.
What does your wife and your son think of all this?
They support me. They support me.
So they're quite happy to lose you to
in fact,
property.
it was my wife who said, "Oh, you need a project."
She was just trying to get you out of the house.
No, she wasn't. I don't believe it.
So you've certainly got a project on your hands.
I have.
It's going to be really exciting finding out how well you do.
Yes.
Good luck
I'm
with this
sure.
project.
Yes, thank you.
And we will catch up with you soon. Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much, Richard. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
I give it to him.
Has Richard's Chatham refurbishment been one step too far?
This has just taken over my entire life.
Chatham in Kent is famous for its naval dockyard, where Nelson's ship, the Victory, was built in 1760.
It's yours at £79,000.
So, for £79,000, Richard bought the two-bed topsy-turvy house with its bathroom on the ground floor and the kitchen in the basement. Along with his son Mark, he was hoping this would continue to build up his experience in a career that was relatively new to him.
I was an IT consultant before I went into this game, but this is far more rewarding.
So, has this house been a rewarding exercise? 6 months later, we're back with Richard to find out. Well, the exterior's certainly all the better for new windows and doors. Inside, that old dingy lounge has now become a more welcoming entrance to the property.
Well, in the lounge there used to be an ugly old gas fire, 60s type gas fire, and a friend of mine had an opportunity for me to buy this. I had a bit of a problem putting it in because it's quite tall, and the fireplace that was there was a lot smaller, and I had to dig it out and put a lintel in there to to support it all so as I could get it in there. But I'm very, very happy with the end result.
Along with new coving, central heating, laminate floors and plasterwork, this is no longer a gloomy house. Though Richard has kept the bathroom on this floor, he's completely transformed it with a new suite and shower unit. Downstairs in the basement, the dining room and kitchen have been completely refurbished and some structural changes made.
Well, the kitchen dining room was a very mousy little place, and the kitchen was dreadful. First of all, I decided that because it was small, I wanted to open it out and make it into a kitchen diner, because I've done that successfully in other properties. But one of the problems we had when we knocked the wall down was that the level of wall through here didn't match with this. And because I wanted to do this with the kitchen surface, it all had to be flat. So it proposed quite a problem for the plasterer to get it all level. And technically it was quite a difficult job getting that all done. And of course we had to get rid of all the potential damp that was coming up from the floor. So it all had to be tanked. And it was all made very wonderful job, wonderful job.
So all that damp and the rotting floor issues have been sorted. To me, this refurbishment was all about lifting the gloom that was previously here, and that's certainly been achieved. The whole place is much lighter and brighter now. With the 2 bedrooms on the first floor ready to go, the inside of the house is completely finished. The outside is looking pretty good too, with the garden transformed from a wild, untamed wilderness to a neat, manageable family garden. Overall, you can see there's been a tremendous amount of work done here. How does Richard feel about the project now?
Feeling a bit tired at the moment. A few long days, very long days. I haven't been able to do my normal socialising because this has just taken over my entire life.
Clearly, this has been a bit of a slog at times for Richard. There's been a lot of back-breaking work, but it wasn't his burden alone. His son Mark also helped out.
He's been absolutely a diamond. He's been marvellous. He's learning to be a plasterer, and the guy I had was obviously his employer.
Pretty much every single wall in the house needed levelling off using hardwall bonding.
Mark has cut his teeth on this on this house because of the amount of work that was needed and the range of work that's been done as well.
This has been a good project for me to go do a fair bit on my own, and I've definitely improved a lot since I've been doing this.
He's just rendered the wall outside in the garden as well. He's never done that before. Done a wonderful job of it, so we're very pleased with it.
But with the whole house needing plastering or rendering to make the old rough walls even and smooth, Mark's had plenty of opportunities to practice his plastering skills. His input should have helped keep Richard's costs down.
The original budget was £10,000 with a contingency, but it went a little bit over that, so I've spent about 13 and a half.
Richard bought the property at auction for $79,000 and spent £13,500 refurbishing it. So including costs and fees, he will have invested close to £100,000 here. But was that money well spent? What do two local estate agents think?
When I first visited this property, it really did need a huge amount of work. But the person that's bought it has achieved a great property now.
I personally really like this property. I like the new bathroom as it has a separate shower as well as the bath, and I do like the open plan kitchen diner.
So some pretty positive comments there. Richard initially intended this to be a rental property, so has 6 months' work and an investment of nearly $100,000 been worth it?
I'd be looking to market at around about £110,000 to £115,000.
You could resell this property on for a figure between £95,000 and £115,000.
I've been told 115 is about as much as I could probably get for this, so that's why I'm renting it for 12 months, and then we'll see how it goes.
So rental is key to success for this project, as far as Richard is concerned.
I'd be looking at around about £600 per calendar month to get somebody in fairly quickly. If he had a bit more time on his hands, then I would try £625 per calendar month.
I think you can rent this property out for a figure between £625 and £675 per calendar month.
Because of the amount of time that I have, because I'm going on holiday shortly, I need to get this buttoned up and tenanted out before I go. So I settle for 600. I've got the tenants already coming in for 600, so...
That's not a bad deal. He's getting the money rolling in straight away. At £600 a month rental or £7,200 a year, that's a yield of over 7%, so not bad. So is he planning more of the same?
I don't know yet. My wife's retiring next year. We may move away, take up full retirement, but I can't see it somehow. I think we'll be doing something. I don't know what.
Even if this house does provide a decent pension, I don't think Richard is the retiring kind. I'm not sure he's totally ready to walk away from property development quite yet.